Hello, everyone. My name is Ivonne Montealegre from the Malta Poker Festival, and I'm here on the poker panel with Dmitry Starostenkov from EvenBet Gaming and Manuel Lopes from QuFan Technologies. As you may or may not know, poker has been experiencing a super hype with the current situation with the pandemic because everyone is playing online. Live events have been canceled. All 2020 was canceled for live poker events. And these people that were playing live are now playing online. So we are here to discuss a little bit about the hype, the new hype of poker. Let me tell you a little bit about Dimitri. He's the CEO of EvenBet, which is one of the leading innovative poker platforms that in 2020 they decide to actually launch an international poker network, which is very exciting for them. And Manuel, which is doing an amazing job with QFan Technologies, which is an MGA licensed poker app. It's very social and it's growing quite interestingly too. So hello guys.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit, what are the current potential drivers for poker growth? Where is this going? What are your strategies?
I think we are still experiencing some very good influence from that lockdown when players go from live games and from casino games from casinos where they used to online, and also there's some huge influx from sports betting websites because of lack of sports betting events to poker. So I think there's still these two big sources of poker players.
Yeah,
Manuel, what can you tell us about it?
I agree. I think we're still seeing an increase due to the lockdown, and not only poker is growing, esports is growing like crazy as well. And also, I noticed that the demographic changed a bit as well during this period. So we particularly are getting quite a lot more interest from also gamers, maybe because they also have more free time in their hands when they stay home. And steadily growing. There was a big influx during the first lockdown, beginning of last year. Then it kind of stabilized and even dropped a bit, and now we see that, especially in some particular regions, it's growing a lot again.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think to name it's like new geos like Latin America, Asia, right? Second, it's growing of mobile audience. I see like all those guys who played live games, and they would never go to desktop computer to play Poker Stars. Now they're having their smartphones and they can easily access all these mobile apps to play poker.
We actually did some testing. We decided to launch a while ago a web platform because we used to be only mobile, and compared to mobile, like the percentage of players that play desktop is really, really low. And also the regions is basically what you said, the same for us. A lot of interest from Latin America and also Asia. So right now, actually, we just launched a new version of our app today. And for the first time, we introduced Chinese as a language as well. But not because of China, obviously, because we're not in China, but places like Taiwan. And I think those are the regions that are growing a lot now.
Yeah, also there are a lot of Chinese people in Africa, for example. So
exactly.
So guys, is this a hype, a sort of Chris money maker, second wave that is going to die soon, or are we here to stay? Because we're competing with Netflix pretty much. We're entertainment, and we're competing with all these entertainment monsters that are tackling it quite well. Also, from your mobile, you cast into the TV. How is poker gonna keep all the new players in? How are you planning to do it?
I don't think it's a temporary thing. I think it's here to stay. Basically, poker, as we know it, it's been around for a long, long time. And yes, there was a big influence from the pandemic, but a lot of things changed during this period. And I think we can all agree that they will not change back, at least totally. Like, for example, remote work, right? People spend a lot more time at home. A lot of companies went totally remote. We are a good example of that. Our European team has been working remote for almost a year now, and I don't see it changing in the near future. So I think that poker, especially mobile poker, is going to ride that wave for a long, long term. I wouldn't say it's a new money maker effect because that had a reach that I don't think can be replicated anytime soon. But there's some factors at play, like the U.S. market, that will have big influence. But however, I don't think it's going to be short-lived.
Yeah, I would not compare poker with Netflix at all. To be honest, like it's like very different kind of entertainment. For example, what I saw in Asia, people play poker like everywhere, like while they're walking, while they're waiting for a bus. So it's like it's not possible, for example, to watch a movie just doing some other stuff. But with poker, it's also possible. I think all you saw, like people playing live poker, play at the same time mobile app, and even I saw guys who played from two smartphones at the same time and live poker. So like it's a bit different, I think. And with all these new social features, making poker more like casual, we attract new generation. So I think I agree with Manuel that it's not just like a temporary growth. It will continue.
Great.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, Manuel mentioned the comeback of the United States. We have this huge market, although very immature market, I must say, with a lack of interstate traffic and a lot of hurdles. How do you see your brands, or in general, the penetration to the U.S. market?
I'm obviously very interested in the U.S. market. Regarding all verticals, it's been really exciting to see what's happening there, and they're regulating in more and more states. The thing is that usually, at least in this first big wave of regulation, poker is mostly not in the picture, because the way that it works is that with other verticals, they get the major clients or the major operators there are coming from live gaming. So these are groups of live casinos or live gaming in general that decide to establish their brand online as well, and they get one of those pre-packaged B2B solutions with casino, sports betting, esports, horse racing, whatever. Poker is not being considered by most of them because of the liquidity issue, because it's not interstate liquidity. However, I think that solutions like the one we have, or like a solution that EvenBet offers as well with the club model, is totally different. Liquidity is not a huge factor, for those operators to have a profitable poker product. They just need to, let's call it, change the chip. And currently many of them also don't have live poker, so poker is kind of forgotten. But I think I think we will get there. We'll get there pretty soon. But I definitely think it's a game changer. I keep saying that when it's a federal level, it will be totally different. But we've been waiting for that one for a long time. But even in the current state of things, I think poker has a space there.
Okay, Dmitry, what can you tell us?
Yeah. Let me add. First of all, don't forget that the United States is the motherland of poker, right? It's like heavily integrated into people's culture there to play poker. So poker is having very bright future in the United States together with all these legalizations. And inevitably, it will be huge in the United States. I would say maybe it will be the biggest vertical at the end in the United States, when all states will be open and all this stuff happen. But even now, I think even with all these geofencing and limitations, poker is doing very good in the US, and some steps are happening right now, like agreement between 3 states for shared liquidity. And I see how right now some very big players of the US market are considering or are already moving toward this vertical. So I think it's just there's not so much time still till poker will start growing very fast in the US.
I think if we
have you experienced as a poker platform, Dmitry, companies, as you said, big players, perhaps sports books and so on, that didn't have the poker vertical, that want to integrate poker now? Is this like a common request after the pandemic or during the pandemic?
I wouldn't say it's a common request, but we are getting more and more requests from that in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
I think it can create a snowball effect. I think the question here is if poker is picked up in any way by one of the big players in the market in the US, then the rest will follow, because they will see that poker is profitable, and the activity it generates, it's a lot, especially in this new social era. And both our product, both ours and yours, Dmitry, are very socially integrated. So it's so easy to share with your friends what you're playing and invite them to play with you. And those are things that you don't really do when you are playing casino or sports betting. It's not a social game. It's not a group thing. And I think when it's picked up by a major player, a major group, then the rest will follow. At the end of the day, for them, it's very profitable. So, and for us that love the game, we hope we'll be there for that run.
Yes, I've always highlighted throughout my career in poker how you get relevant content from poker, right? It's not the same. Like, I love the feeling of talking about the hands, and I've played a lot of tournaments in Tokyo, and I think the community that they're building is amazing. I've heard very positive things about your poker clubs as well. And this sense of, right now we can't go to the casino and we do it at home, but the feeling, the entertainment, the social features, the content value is there. How much can you write about slots? It's quite boring, whereas poker has this component of a very exciting meta language, I would say, and the poker community is quite fun too. We have 2 minutes left, and I want to remind our audience that you can ask questions on the hop-in window, and we will answer them afterwards. All your questions and comments are super important. That's why we want to take time to answer them. So just do it after the panel. Just to wrap up, because we have 2 minutes and I've enjoyed this so much with you guys, what would be, how do you see poker in 5 years? Online poker.
I think online poker will, in 5 years, will be huge. I think it can still grow a lot. I think we learned from this year how we can, we were already doing stuff the year before in mixing live with online. I think that will happen more and more, especially now after what we went through. And I think, live players now know that they can play online poker with friendly platforms. So I think there's no limit for us. I think poker can grow a lot still.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think poker in 5 years will be treated like game of skill in the most of the places around the world. Not as like gambling. It will be less and less connected with gambling and with casino activities, and more like consider it as a game of skill, as a social game with all these social, casual entertainment features. So it will be integrated into global entertainment, how to say it, not network, but infrastructure, ecosystem, and will be closer to all these esports, entertainment activities rather than casino. This is my vision.
Beautiful. Yes, I only see it growing, and it's fantastic to be part of it. And it's a great community, both from the B2B aspect to the B2C, and as a player ourselves. It's quite exciting times, and I couldn't be happier for poker to be coming back and here to stay stronger. Thank you so much, and thanks to EvenBet for sponsoring our Power Hour about poker. And if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, please type them in the hop-in window. And we'll see you soon. Thank you, Dmitry, and thank you, Manuel.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Have a great weekend.